This is going to be a brief overview of English for high schoolers. I did a video kind of overviewing all the high school subjects, but this one's going to be just English. So I'll try to summarize this in as short amount of time as I can so it doesn't overwhelm anyone. High school English, if you're not familiar with the curriculum, it starts out with page 1. The student reads the goals to you. It has a verse that they can fill out. A lot of times if you've gone through the curriculum, the verse doing it in King James is what they've learned. If you're new to the curriculum, it's just a blank spot that you can pick whatever version you want of the Bible and fill that out, and then that's what they carry through on all their tests and their stuff. They fill out whatever version they have in there. There's a cartoon at the bottom of the page, just something they can read or ignore if they want to. My kids tend to really enjoy them. English is the one that carries on the stories, so you'll find out what the characters are doing, a little bit more about how they're getting ready for college or mission field or whatever it is, and then this one has some questions about that. As you go through it, one thing that I do is I make my kids say the rules. So at the top of this page, you can't really see it, but it says review 2 kinds of verbs. I have my kids say that. It's a short paragraph, and it's just kind of implants it in their mind. They can read it. Some of them, if they're generic enough, I'll just have them read it. But for the most part, I call them rules and they have to say it to me. That really gets it in their head. A lot of times they have to regurgitate it on the checkup or the self-test, and so if not writing it, they have to fill out what the rule says. So it's really good to have them say it, just a reminder. It's a little bit more work for you, a little bit more work for them, but they need to memorize it anyway, and English is really ACE's strong suit. So again, at the bottom here, they have writing the verse, and that's really good. More rules. Then you have the checkups. Before you get to the checkup, you want to say the verse. You don't have to say it. They need to say it to you, and just show that they have it memorized. The wisdom pack in the center of it, I explained that in the other video. This is what it looks like. It kind of looks like the test. You don't have to tear it out, but they do need to do this, if that's your preference, for them before they take the test. So it's a couple pages long. That's one subject that they could do for English that day. That's one day's worth of work. We do 5 pages a day in each subject, and that gets us where we're good for finishing in a year. But we do school 4 days a week. So it's not, if we did school 5 days a week, we'd have to do 4 pages in each subject. And high school science is a little bit different than that, which I explained in another video. So that's kind of an overall summary. Let me look at my notes and make sure I didn't have anything else. Oh, I was going to tell you that one thing that I love about ACE is it asks you to get a 90% or above in each subject. When they hit high school, they change that to 85% or above. So that's up to you what you want to determine, but the 85% starts in high school. Younger grades is usually 90%. I really personally valued that when I hit college because getting a B wasn't really an option. I really realized as I went into the classrooms there was a big difference between my attitude and a lot of other kids' attitudes, just going in and what I expected out of myself versus what I noticed other people expected. So that seemed really beneficial to me just in real life and in college. I always knew that I could do an A. I always knew I could give an A because less than an A wasn't acceptable. Something to think about when you're setting that up for your kids. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, ask comments. I do check those and see if I can make another video that might be more helpful.